Thank you, and hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the studies looking at the social acceptability as part of the COALT project. And yeah, I'll start with why we're interested in that. So coastal areas are dynamic and constantly affected and changed by natural processes and human interventions. They are also home to diverse habitats, providing ecosystem services that we have heard about today, but they also focus on economic and social activities and infrastructure. And climate projections show that under all climate scenarios, sea level rise and accelerated erosion rates, together with more extreme and frequent weather events will put millions of properties at risk in the UK. So how do we manage our coast in the light of this? So just to kind of have an overview about how do we manage currently. So within the UK, each nation has their own risk management authority and national strategies looking at the flooding and coastal erosion risk management. There are also different organizations involved, and they can be different within each nation. In England and Wales, there's also shoreline management plans, and these are large assessments looking at the risks associated with coastal processes. They are non-statutory, although many authorities base their long-term plans on SMPs. There are 4 generic policy options: advance the line, hold the line, no active intervention, and mandatory alignment. In Scotland, currently, local authorities are encouraged to develop their climate coastal change adaptation plans, yet some authorities already have strategies based on English and Welsh examples. And historically, shoreline management has relied on the hold the line option, yet hard defences can cause coastal squeeze, habitat loss, and also are associated with increasing maintenance costs due to climate change and climate variability. Therefore, in response, many drivers and national policymakers are encouraging more nature-friendly and adaptive solutions, so nature-based solutions that have various co-benefits, not only flood risk management, flood protection, yet there are also various challenges with that. One of that is slow implementation of nature-based solutions, and the other is low social acceptability. Because where people's properties are at risk, there is strong political pressure to protect the properties. So within this study, we firstly aim to identify diverse perspectives of how we should manage the coast among different interested and affected groups in England, Wales, and Scotland. Then we also wanted to explore more about the perceived challenges and opportunities of various flood protection schemes, and finally assess the social acceptability of nature-based solutions. And to do that, we use the Q methodology, which is a semi-quantitative, semi-qualitative research method in which participants are asked to rank a number of statements in the pre-designed grid, as you can see on the screen. In the end of the process, they also asked to reflect on the process on the statements they have scored, ranked highly, kind of disagree or agreed with those statements. And in our study, we had 44 statements from different policies and articles, and we had 31 participants. We can largely group them into three groups: risk management authorities, organizations with statutory roles and those that have other interests, and such as other non-departmental public bodies that are not included in flood risk management, and academia, environment consultancies, and also residents. And we identified 5 perspectives, and 20 participants of these 30 ones exclusively were found to associated with one of those perspectives. So now I'm going to run through you through each of the perspectives. And the first one was the pro-green practitioners. This was the largest group, and these participants highly valued the protection and also all the co-benefits that nature-based solutions can provide. They had relatively strong trust in other risk management authorities, in politicians and communities. This perspective disagreed that managed realignment could result in social inequalities. They also agreed that the grey structures are currently built with little improvement. However, there was kind of disagreement within the perspective. The second perspective was the future planning relocators, and this perspective but strongly believed that there should be increased debates about relocation, and they consider decision-making process and political debates more than any other perspective. They also said that politicians prefer short-term results, and that hard engineered structures can lull communities into safety, this perspective disagreed that managed realignment could result in a loss of land area, saying that for livelihood, saying that it will give other opportunities. The third one is the case-by-case thinkers that have more holistic approach to shoreline management. This perspective highly valued natural habitats' role in providing a natural barrier to flooding. They also had more positive attitude towards hybrid solutions, and they thought that seawalls do not decrease the attractiveness of landscape, stating some of good examples, but also acknowledging that there's also many unsuccessful examples. The fourth perspective, similarly to the perspective 1, has more pragmatic approach, but they are slightly more cautious about debates about relocation, saying that it might cause anxiety to the communities. And the final perspective is the climate change concern that had more emotional connection to the coast, and looking at the bigger picture, how we make decisions we make at the coast can impact the longer term nature, and are very concerned about climate change. And they were considering relocation, but didn't think that it should be a national debate, but rather more kind of local. There were also three statements that everyone agreed. So the first one had similar opinions. So the first, everyone agreed that risk management should work together, saying that they also already do. Everyone was kind of neutral about hybrid solutions and their contribution to smaller spaces. And everyone disagreed that there is a lack of information about impact and cost and effectiveness. And just to conclude, what we found is that within our participants, there's a strong preference for green solutions, yet we cannot conclude that there are no other perspectives within the community, but there might be slight that we cannot talk really about green versus grey as such. And yeah, thank you. That's really brief.